Welcome back to Wellness Bites, where we dig into the ingredients of a healthier life. Before we dive in, I've got some exciting news for you. Stick around until the end of the podcast, scan the QR code, and you'll be entered into a $25 Amazon gift card giveaway. You don't want to miss this. Now, in today's episode, we're celebrating May's Mental Health Awareness Month. This is a time dedicated to raise awareness about mental health, fighting stigma, providing support, and promoting mental well-being for everyone. In doing so today, I have guest speaker Gail Carter-Cade, educator, advocate, and author of Uplifting the Pain of Behavioral and Learning Styles Through Poetry Now. Gail, welcome to Wellness Bites.
Great being here.
Let's dive right in. Your latest work really focuses on helping people connect, especially in those tough times and uncomfortable moments. What inspired you to write a book that uses poetry to support students, parents, and even employees?
Well, I became passionately driven to write a book because of the experiences that I had with my daughters and navigating them in school. And I felt that it'd be best to write it down, the information, so that I could pass it on to those who may face the same challenges that I had to make their journey a little easier than mine was.
Okay. Can you share what was some of those experiences that you had?
Well, I had students who introduced me to dyslexia and emotional challenges. So I know that there are a lot of parents who wonder why my child can't read, or why my child is having difficulty in reading, or why my child is always getting in trouble in school. So as a parent, when I was first told that my daughters may have these types of challenges, I drew a blank. It was like whatever they were telling me, I couldn't hear it, I couldn't comprehend it, I didn't understand it. So all I knew is that I had a parent, or I had children who need help or my assistance. So what I did was I said, if I saw anything that my children needed, I was just going to go after it and challenge it and learn as much as I could so that I can better help them.
So you mentioned in your book that you can help turn pain to insight. That's powerful. How does your book of poetry open the door to more meaningful conversations, especially when someone is struggling?
It causes it to have a more meaningful conversation because I have written over 200 different poems. And out of those poems, I have put in those poems different ways that a person may exhibit that they're having problems, and you might overlook it. But the poems point it out and show how the pain is being shown in their daily life. Because the book is broken up into poetry that you may see difficulties at home, work, school, or just in general. So you will be able to pick up and have insight as to what it is you're looking at when a child or adult is exhibiting a certain behavior or learning style.
So many educators and caregivers feel puzzled when a student or someone is constantly acting out and they can't quite pinpoint why. So can you share how your book helps uncover some of those hidden experiences?
Yes. For one example, a poem comes to my mind immediately is Discern. That is to me a powerful poem because sometimes people judge a student or an adult by their size or their demeanor, not knowing that they might not be able to discern how they've gotten into trouble or how they could avoid getting in trouble again. So that poem opens that up so a person could have a better understanding of, wow, I didn't think about that point, that the child might not really know how to avoid or to not know how to problem solve. So that poem has great insight into that. Because, like I said, some students are big for their age, and you think, oh, they should know better than that. Or an adult, they should be much more advanced in life, but they may not be. So that poem.
Because of their experiences. Not everybody has the same experiences.
Exactly.
You're right. One of the things I found so compelling, how your work resonated, was that not only with students, but also with adults who might be holding on to their difficult experiences, is what do you say to someone who reads your book and then recognizes your poem in their story?
I would say to them, either at that point they should seek more help if they feel that they need to overcome what the problem may be or the pain, or they may try to find, they may continue to self-help if it has not been interrupting their lifestyle or their learning of their behavior. But other than that, it's a platform to get started, because sometimes you're holding on to these problems or these pains, or so you could show someone the poem because you may not know how to describe it or explain it. But so another person can take a look at the poem and get a better insight as to what it is you're experiencing. And so they may be able to reach out to help you or get you further help so that you can be on your way to more success.
Okay.
A growth mindset, either way. Mm-hmm.
Sure. Would you be willing to share one of your short poems with us?
Yes, I would love to.
Awesome.
I gotta get my glasses, but I would love to. Okay, this one, I tried to make them short, but some of them are a little long. But this one is called Downhearted. I look a mess, I feel less. I have not had any rest. It is hard to be at my best. My problem, I want them to be addressed. It seems like I am not making any progress. I don't even want to get dressed. I have no strength or interest, I confess. My heart is racing in my chest. My brain feels obsessed. I'm glad you have given me the opportunity to distress, preventing my feelings from becoming compressed. I am tired of feeling repressed. It is undesirable to become distressed. Instead, I prefer to detest it. Understandingly, there are so many of us who are depressed. I thank you for listening. Now I can avoid needing an inquest. And
wow.
Yes, and everything comes to me with a rhyme, so that also makes it more easier to be read and understand. It attracts adults and students.
I think that is so well written, and that so many of us can kind of relate to that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at some point in our lives, we go through that and feel like that on not maybe every day, but sometimes in our lives. Mm-hmm. So that really is deep. Thank you for sharing that. But before we wrap up, what's one small step a listener can take today to start creating a more deeper, more compassionate connection with someone who might be struggling?
I would suggest be a good listener, be encouraging, and do not be judgmental. And then show them my book, and then they may find a poem that speaks to them or speaks for them that they may show to someone else to get further help.
It's beautifully said. Gail, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, your heart with us today. And to our listeners, if you're looking for a meaningful way to connect, understand, and uplifting poems might be the tool that you need in your life. Check out The Pain of Behavioral and Learning Styles Through Poetry Now by Gail Carter-Cade. Until next time, take care of yourself and one another. Thanks for tuning into Wellness Bites, and don't forget to take a bite out of wellness.